Donald Johnson. Bruce McCracken.
Here.
Alan Rich. Robert Shepard has to be excused. Anthony Caldwell.
Here.
Gary Rosenthal.
Here.
Joel Reese has to be excused. Cheryl Bagallo.
Here.
And Chairman Thomas. You didn't say you were here, though.
Second.
Laura Grauman. Bruce McCracken.
Yes.
Alan Rich.
Yes.
Anthony Caldwell.
Yes.
Gary Rosenthal.
Yes.
And Chairman Thomas. But it's a resolution. Even though it's an extension of time, it was a resolution.
Second.
Laura Grauman. Bruce McCracken.
Yes.
Alan Rich. Anthony Caldwell.
Yes.
And Chairman Thomas.
Second.
Laura Grauman. Bruce McCracken.
Yes.
Alan Rich. Anthony Caldwell.
Yes.
And Chairman Thomas.
Second. Aye.
Doesn't look like it.
Letter requesting this?
Yeah.
I don't recall. Either way, we'll contact their office and see when they want to reschedule. Bob, can you check your mic again? They're having problems hearing you. Is the green light on?
You can move.
Oh, now.
Now it's on bright.
Okay. Marcel, Gennaro Constable and Jax Gennaro, ZBA 18-00004, use variance and site plan with variances in which the applicant will convert a two-story dwelling on lot 16 into a restaurant, construct a small one-story addition between the structures on lots 16 and 17 at 6 Laurel Avenue and 4585, 4587, Route 27, Kingston, Block 3, lots 14, 16, 17, in the NB zone is not going to be heard tonight. It will be carried to July 19th with no further notification as is the first one, since the mic wasn't working, Surinder and Singe, 17, ZBA 17-00020. That will be carried to July 19th also. The hearing that we will have, Muslim Foundation, ZBA 17-00012, applicant seeks to amend the previously granted use variance and site plan approvals related to the construction of a 31,795 square feet K-8 school. The amendment is limited to revision of the proposed building layout with no other site plan changes. 4749 Cedar Grove Lane, Somerset, block 468.09, lots 37 and 38 in the R40 zone.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Lanford appearing on behalf of the applicant. This is an application to amend the site plan that was approved by this board after hearings in September and October of 2017 and the adoption of a resolution granting a conditional use approval. That resolution was adopted on March 1st, 2018. If the board would recall, at the initial hearings, we presented the testimony of our architect, Yogesh Mistry, Mike Ford, our site engineer, Betsy Dolan, our traffic consultant, and Dr. Karazi, who was a representative and a member of the applicant's Board of Trustees. The application this evening is fairly simple. When we submitted the application, originally we had a 1.5-story building where the classrooms were. Half of the first floor was going to be in sort of below grade. When they started to put the project out to bid and talk to builders, they found out that the cost of going below grade was probably too expensive, and all we're doing is now making it a 2-story building rather than 1.5 stories. I will have Mr. Mistry explain that to you, show you the elevations. Other than that, nothing is changing. All of the classrooms within the building are the same. The gymnasium's the same. As far as the site plan, nothing has changed. The only other comment, and it was really doing calculations, was a comment in Mr. Healy's, in the report that was issued concerning parking, where we looked at the gymnasium and the issue of if that gymnasium was fully occupied, we may have a parking variance, and quite frankly, that's not our intent. The parking spaces have not changed, and Mr. Healy confirmed that if the gymnasium occupancy was limited to 264, which is more than we'll ever have, then we would not need a parking variance. And so, as part of the amendment, we're seeking that the board impose a condition limiting occupancy to 264 occupants. Having said that, I'm going to call Mr. Mistry as a witness.
Sir, you were sworn in at the original application?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, this is an amendment, so he's still sworn in to tell the truth.
Right.
Your name and address, please?
Yogesh Mistry, Yogesh-Mistry.
Thank you.
Mr. Mistry, you heard my opening comments concerning why we're here tonight, correct?
Yes, I did.
And you have an exhibit which is on, for change on this side of the room, showing the changes for the board.
Yes, I do.
And your exhibit is really 4 sheets, which is both the interior and the exterior of the building, as was previously approved and as we are proposing to have it approved this evening, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Can we mark those 4 sheets as A1?
With today's date, please.
Got it?
I don't actually don't have a pen.
Okay. Mr. Mistry, sheets 1 and 3 of the set, which are A201, and if you can flip to sheet 3, which is A201 again, are the classrooms, correct?
Yeah, these are the 2 floor plans. The first A2.01 is the current proposal. The second one is what was previously approved on, it's dated 4/3/2017.
Okay, and in essence, as I indicated for the record, the number of classrooms that we are proposing are the same. The gymnasium is the same. The cafeteria is the same. There are no changes to the interior of the building. Is that correct?
Correct. Programmatically, we still have 14 classrooms, a gymnasium, and a cafeteria, and it's the same size as what was originally approved.
Okay. Now, on the second sheet of your set are the elevations that we are seeking to get approved this evening, the changes in the elevation. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And sheet 4, which is
The sheet 2 and 4 are, again, the 2 elevation sheets. The first A4.01 is what's currently being proposed as a full 2-story building. And then the second A4.01 was the previously approved elevation, which sort of is a story and a half, the half of the lower level being underground.
Okay, and just very briefly, I'll stay with what was previously approved. To the right side of your exhibit, to the back of the property, is the gymnasium, is that correct?
Yeah, this is maybe I should show the front elevation at the bottom of the page.
Right.
The right side is the main entry. That kind of pops up like a story and a half. And then the rear side is the gymnasium, it's really just a one-story on-grade gymnasium. Those were the two kind of high points. They were both at 35 feet from average grade. And the middle section is where all the classrooms are, or were, and that's kind of like a story, maybe a story and a half there.
Okay, so if we fast forward to today's plans, the gymnasium does not change?
Correct. The gymnasium is still the same one-story slab on grade. The entry now has become a two-story volume, but it's still the same height. It was always kind of a taller volume. Now we've just incorporated into the two-story scheme. That middle section is really where the change happened. You could see there's kind of two bands of windows there. The lower level being what was before the basement elevated now to the first floor, and then the second floor was originally the first floor, now just kind of pushed up.
Okay, and the height of the building at the highest point is still under 35 feet?
Correct. It actually went down a little bit. It's now 33.6 versus 35 at the highest points, just because of some regrading. But
okay.
It's
And
essentially
what
the
was the
same.
original height of the gymnasium?
35 feet.
Okay, and that's going to remain the same?
Yes.
So nothing exceeds the 35-foot height requirement, correct?
Correct.
And the testimony you rendered at the previous hearing concerning the materials that you were going to use, the colors, and everything else does not change?
Yeah, that all stayed the same.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Just one question, the part that's being raised higher is, that part of the school is basically behind the mosque, right?
It's all behind the mosque.
Well, that for sure is behind the mosque because it's the middle, right, of the new building.
Right.
So there's nobody then that I could see that anywhere that would have an issue with the height being a negative visible fraction. Nobody's going to see it except the people on World's Fair Drive and the people who go inside the building. And I'm not saying that it doesn't need or deserve to be seen, but it has no impact visibly to the general public.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
What is the height?
33 feet 6 inches from average grade to the highest point. That happens at the front entry, and it happens at the gym.
Okay, and that 33, that was the height of the gym in the original?
It was actually 35 originally, but because of, I think Mike Ford did a little bit of regrading, the average grade changed, and it didn't get any bigger just because the average grade went up a little bit.
Got it,
That's
thank
fine.
you.
Refresh my memory. What was the basement? What was basement?
It really wasn't, the lower level of classrooms was half below ground and half above ground. And now the lower level is going to be
So it's, okay.
all grade.
All right.
There will be no basement now. There's nothing else. It's basically a slab-on grade building.
Any other questions?
I also have Representative, Mr. Ford's on vacation, but from his office, but I can indicate in the plans where there are no changes to the site plan unless you want to actually hear that from him and have him put up the drawing. But the site plan has not changed from what was previously approved. So I'll leave it up to you, Mr. Chairman, if you want, Mr.
Anybody need to hear that testimony?
No, that, it was clear from the language of the application that there were no changes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and just so you understand, the way that the staff is going to process it, the plans that are going to be on file are the ones that you approved in 2017, and then the architecturals will just be replaced with these plans as opposed to the ones that were presented to you previously.
That is correct.
So there is no change.
As a matter of fact, they're just about ready to get permits to start doing the construction, so we're not changing anything.
Anything else?
That's it.
open to the public. Would you like to ask a question or make a statement?
Alex Karazi, 14 Margaret Drive, Somerset, New Jersey. I'm also the director at the mosque. I just wanted to also mention one other thing which is very important, that besides the cost saving that we will realize by eliminating basement, one of the most important things that made us to change the plan was the safety of the students. In case of emergency, having the student come out of the basement was an issue for us. So when this proposal came that we should go ahead and elevate, we really used that as a good reason to request the changes. So I just want to make sure that the board is aware of that. The safety also was an important element for us. Thank you very much.
Hey, anyone else want to speak? Okay, then we'll close to the public. You think you need to add?
The only thing I'm going to say is that the board obviously found all of the reasons for the variance previously, and nothing has changed, so I would ask for an approval.
There's no discussion. We'll motion.
I would. The application.
Second.
Laura Grauman, Donald Johnson. Oh, sorry, Bruce McCracken,
Yes.
Alan Rich,
Yes.
Anthony Caldwell,
Yes.
Gary Rosenthal,
Yes.
Carol Gallo,
Yes.
and Chairman Thomas.
Yes,
Thank-
okay.
Thank you.
And then a motion to close, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Meeting adjourned.